In this lesson, we have Tim Fitzgerald teaching you about Wes Montgomery's approach. This was a great masterclass. We have a whole host of masterclasses with Tim in our Play Like Wes series that I know you guys are going to dig on octaves, on chord soloing, and we have more coming from Tim in the future. He's a great educator. He picks some great examples for you. So without further ado, here's Tim Fitzgerald.
One of the big things about the way Wes accompanies himself is that he really harks back to the sound of the big band. It's very much as if there was a horn section giving him a chord stab right after. So the song we're going to be working with to start is Yesterday's. We're just going to start with literally just the first 4 bars. So you might know this melody. And the chords we're in the key of D minor. And it's a 1 chord. We're right in D minor, D minor 6, D minor 7, that whole family. We've got a 2-5 back to D minor and another 2-5. Very often people put a 6 chord here, so they make it 1 to B half, make it 1 6 2 5 1 6 2 5. But at its core, at the very least, it's 1 and then a 2 5 1 2 times. So what in this case, well, just to play what Wes plays real quick, so you can see that. So it's like Wes's riffs, Wes's solo is like the octaves part, and then the chord hits are like the band step. Big hit, you know. Hit, ba, hit, holy smokes, that makes it swing. You know, it's not the only way to swing, of course, but when Wes starts dropping in those chords behind his lines, especially behind his octaves, but also behind his lines, it's a dream come true. It's just there's so much feel and drive. So what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about Wes's approach for these big band hits on this tune, and then we'll also look at it a couple different ways of mixing. So getting back to, if you remember what the chord progression was, if you have that, it's a D minor. The chart just has D minor, right, like a triad, but of course we're going to make it a D minor 7 or a D minor 6 to start. This is D minor 9 or D minor 6 9, and then it's 2 5 back to 1. So the first thing that Wes does in order to make this really clear, he simplifies. He just simplifies those chords. Now, it's not that complicated as it is. It's D minor, it's 1 2 5 1, but Wes goes even further with the simplification. He just makes it 1 and 5. This is it. Because at its core, really a 2 5 1 is really a 5, right? I mean, that's the 2 5 adds more push. It's great, more movement. But really, we can simplify a 2 5 in many cases just to 5 5 1. So for his 1 chord, he doesn't just do a D minor. He doesn't just do a D minor 9. He actually does D minor 6 9. So here goes Wes right away. Just a riff. He hits the root of D minor with an octave, with a really strong rhythm. Ba ba da. You know, like that's. Think about a big band. Ba ba da right away. Ba ba. There's the chord hit, D minor 7. So that takes care of your D minor 7 bar or your D minor 6 bar. Now it gets interesting too. It gets even more interesting. What he's going to do now for the second bar is instead of E half to some sort of A altered, he just goes right to the A altered and he plays, let's see. Chord. Look at that. I love this. So here he's going to play it's an A7 sharp 5. He's not playing the root. He's putting the root on top. So basically he simplified this 4 bar stretch to D minor 6 9 for 1 bar, A7 sharp 5 for 1 bar. So if you were just copying this, it could be like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. That's a really nice way to comp the first 4 bars of this tune right there, you know, as opposed to the classic might be D minor 7. That's great too. These are really nice things. You could put the 6 chord in there. 1 6 2 5. We can get fancy with this. There's a lot to do. 1 6. You could turn your You could turn this into a Hendrix chord, sharp 11. I mean, there's so much good stuff to do. But Wes is not doing that. He's not going fancy. He's simplifying because he's answering, he's doing a little call and response with himself, which simulates playing with a big band. D minor, hit. There you go. There's 4 bars of mixing octaves. Can it swing any more than when Wes does that? You know, I don't know if it's possible to swing anymore. It's just, now, a couple notes about this time. The time has to be good. Because remember, we're simplifying. This is not about complicated advanced harmony. And even if it were, we still need the time to be really good. The time, no matter what you're playing here, the time's got to be locked in. And I'm not saying this from the top of the mountain, like my time is perfect. Not at all. Like I'm working on it like crazy all the time. But it needs to be there. It's one of, maybe the most important thing. I don't know, Chase, how you feel about that, but I think it's one of the very most important things is to play whatever you're going to play it with strong time and as best you can, a great feel. So again, from the top of what he's doing on these 4 bars, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, now that's getting into the next 4 bars. Let's briefly talk about this little riff and how it relates to the thumb, because this is octaves and chords, and this will relate to the last masterclass on the octaves. Here's another lovely little piece of language to play with octaves. And what's significant here is the picking, but let's talk about this for a second. So Wes, after he plays this, so if I'm looking at the lower note only, just to demonstrate, this is straight, like a really bluesy D minor. The sharp 11 of blues, the 11 or the 4, the sharp 4, the 4, 3, 1. And I don't know if you remember in the last lesson, we are also talking a little bit about the classic pentatonic position in the 5th fret for D minor. A lot of people would play, right? Like you would use your pinky, index, ring, index, ring, index, ring, just to go for these 5 notes, or 1, repeat the top note. That's cool. Do that. Wonderful. Try this. 1 note on the A string, and then 3 notes on the D string, back to 2 notes. It's a subtle difference. So basically the question is, where are we putting the F? Do you want the F on the A string here, or do you want it here? You might be surprised to find how it changes your phrasing. Same notes. Wait, what do you mean? Same notes, it's going to be the same. Where you choose to play the notes on guitar will influence your phrasing. To me, with a pick, this feels so much more soulful to play 3 notes on the next string versus, that's cool, I like it. Sometimes when I'm teaching, I say, let's try pentatonic here. People will kind of fall into a default of like, it's kind of a weird feel, and it's because it's the first thing you ever learned on guitar, and you've never really progressed on that. But okay, that's okay. How about you get the opportunity to slide here if you want. So with the octaves, same thing. You could go, but how about this? To me, that sounds better than. It's okay, both are good, but just try this and see if it helps your phrasing. See if it feels good on the hands, and if it feels more soulful in the pocket with this physical approach. So here we go. After Wes plays this, now he does something very similar. He's still using the same geography as we were just talking about for the pentatonic, except instead of the natural 5, he's playing the flat 5. And this little phrase, he could have gone, that doesn't sound as good to me as, I mean, It's hard to tell the difference just by listening, but when you play it on guitar, you can feel the difference. And this is where we're talking about having such a great, how important it is to have a pocket, how important it is to play in time. These fingerings can influence your pocket. They influence you, how the phrasing, the actual physical approach to guitar changes the way changes the way it sounds. So here we go, 4 notes. And I'm buzzing here a little bit. I gotta play it more cleanly. There it is. So for the right hand, if you're interested in the thumb here, in this case, one strum with the thumb for the first 2 notes, and then downstroke and downstroke. So overall, it's 3 downstrokes. Down covers 2 notes. We talked a little bit in the other lessons about melodic cells, the building blocks of your solos. When you find a small phrase that you like, that talks to you, that speaks to you, that feels good on the hands, that you're interested in, you like the sound, take it, play it a million times, internalize it, try and put it into other places. This is a nice phrase on D minor, a bluesy phrase on D minor. The faster you go, conceivably Wes would do an upstroke if it's very fast, because you'll see he'll occasionally flick up the thumb. He might, if it were burning fast, he might a quick upstroke here and a downstroke. But generally speaking, he's going to play this with downstrokes. While we're on yesterdays, let's talk a little bit about...
If you guys want to get access to all of Tim's classes, just use his link below for a 7-day free trial to Chase's Guitar Academy, and you'll get access to everything there.